Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sri Rahayu Ningsih. I am from PBIB. Now, I will discuss 3 points. One, the difference between curriculum and syllabus is based on a theory. After using a theory, use your own words. 2. Explain knowledge of the two stages in external curriculum theory from Brown and Richard. 3. Differentiating the stage of development of an external and internal curriculum explained by Richard, Brown, and the PDR model and providing a conclusion. Okay, for instance, Rogers 1989, as cited by Richard 2001, 39 states the syllabi prescribe the content to be covered by a given course from only small part of the total school program. Curriculum is a far broad concept. Curriculum is all those activities include not only what pupils learn, but how they learn it, how teachers help learn it, using what supporting materials, styles, and method of assessment, and in what kinds in facilities. Print 1993-7 also makes a similar distinction between a syllabus and curriculum. According to him, curriculum and syllabus are different. A syllabus is typically a list of content areas which are to be assessed. Sometimes, the list is intended to include a number of objectives and learning activities. However, syllabus is officially intended to be a substantiation of curriculum by comparison. A curriculum includes not only content and a detailed statement of curriculum intent, but also the other curriculum elements including detailed learning activities and evaluation procedures. In a distinction that is commonly drawn in Britain, syllabus refers to the content or subject matter of an individual subject, whereas curriculum refers the total contents to be taught and aims to be realized within one school or educational system. While in the UK, curriculum tends to be considered synonymous with syllabus in the British sense. So, according to me, the syllabus is a fraction of the entire school program, such as some of the goals and programs of the school, while the curriculum is covering all school activities, like all of the students' activities, what they learn and how to learn, how teachers them learn, and what facilities they use. A. Brown's curriculum development model. 1. Carrying out need analysis. Brown is of the opinion that development curriculum shall be initiated by a needs analysis which is carried out to identify the language from that the student will likely need to use in the target language. With need analysis, teacher will be able to determine and prioritize educational instruction for students in order to learn English, especially in the parts they need to success in their course and future careers. 2. Formulating aims and objectives. The logical outcome of identifying the needs of a group of language learning is the specification of goals that is general statements about what must accomplish in order to attain the student needs. On the other hand, the objectives are practice statement about what content or skill the student must master in order to attain a particular goal. 3. Developing language testing. Test in one of producer used in conducting evaluation toward learning and teaching process to uncover if the students have achieved competencies as stipulated in course objectives. Besides tests, can also provide valuable information to the lecturers whether the learning process can run effectively or not. 4. Developing materials. Materials development basically refers to the production, evaluation, and adaptation of language teaching materials by teacher for their own classroom. According to Tomlinson, 2003-1. Materials in the discussion including anything which can be used to facilitate the learning of language. They can be linguistic, visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, and they can be represented in print, through live performance or display, or on cassette, CD-ROM, DVD, or the internet. 5. Language teaching. Brown, 1995, 23, is of the opinion that for curriculum development purpose, the teacher must be given more freedom than usual in the classroom to teach as they feel appropriate. Of course, the teacher and the student should be aware of what the objectives for a given course are and how the testing will be given at the end of the course. 6. Evaluation. Program evaluation has to be viewed as the ongoing process of information gathering, analysis, and synthesis, the entire purpose of which to constantly improve each element of a curriculum. Therefore, evaluation is not only used to assess how effective a program runs, but also can be utilized to gather information the process of 1. Developing objectives, 2. Writing and using the test, 3. Adopting, developing or adapting materials, and 5. Teaching. Now, Richard's curriculum development model. 1. Need analysis. In language teaching perspective, Richard 2000 to 54 process a description on what needs are. He points out the needs can be described in terms of linguistic deficiency. That is describing the difference between what a learner can presently do in a language and what her or she shall be able to. 2. Situational analysis. Richard 2002-91 stated the situation analysis is an analysis of factors in the context of a planned or present curriculum project that is made in order to assess their potential impacts on the project. Situational analysis does serve to identify potential obstacles to implementing a curriculum project and factors that need to be considered when planning the parameters of a project. According to Richards, information gained through situation analysis function to complement the information gathered during need analysis. Even it's sometimes considered as a dimension of need analysis. 3. Course planning and syllabus design. As an integrated part of curriculum development, syllabus design must be based on the aims and objectives that have professionally been formulated from need analysis. Richard, through 2002, suggests a number of different levels of designing syllabus, such as developing a course rationale, describing entry and exit level, choosing course content, sequencing course content, planning the course structure, as well as preparing the scope and sequences plan. 4. Providing for effective teaching. The focus of this part is how quality teaching can be achieved in a language program. Richard 2002 states that quality teaching is achieved not only as a consequence of how well teachers teach but through creating context and work environment that can facilitate good teaching. Therefore, the attainment of quality teaching must consider some determinant focus such as international factor, teacher factors, teaching factors, and learning factors. 5. Evaluation in language program perspective. Richard 2002 specially defines evaluation as to collect information about different aspects of language program in order to understand how the program works. This can be done by analysis examining several contexts in the language program such as the goals attainment, the process of implementing the syllabus and the course contents, and how effective the language program respond the learner's needs. I think that's all. Thank you.